Hi, my name is Adnan Hasbi and welcome to another episode of Funny Finance Guy. In this episode, we're going to do a quick follow-up on one of the previous episodes I made, which is investing based on trend. In today, we're going to look a little bit about how to invest in 5G. But prior to that, I'm going to talk a little bit about 4G and the wealth it has created in certain pockets of industries. As an introduction, let's look at the evolution of the technology. So 1G, or the first generation, only allowed us to talk. The second generation, or the 2G, allowed us to send messages. The 3G gave us internet, while the 4G allowed data to transfer much faster. So with the ability to transfer more data quicker, this then provided a catalyst for many industries and also created many jobs for the following industries. The first industry is the streaming of movies. Second industry is the gig economy. And the third industry is the e-hailing industry. So the examples of streaming movies, we can look at Netflix, and we can also look at Google, which owns YouTube, where we see a nice rise in stock price. Aside from that, with the gig economy expanding, a lot of them use either Facebook or Instagram as their advertising channel. Incidentally, Instagram is owned by Facebook. So we can also see another rise in its stock price. Having said that, when looking at the regional companies, we can see two giants being incubated during the same period of time. The first being Grab, the second being Gojek. Aside from these big companies, we can see individuals creating wealth. One of them, as I mentioned, the app developer or the game developer, which made the game Flappy Bird. That person, I think, made about $50,000 a day. And on top of that, I'm sure some of us came across high school kids, which makes about 5 to 10,000 ringgit just by being resellers on Instagram or maybe on Facebook. Aside from that, we can see that there are more economic inclusion where rural Malaysia can sell some of their handmade products to the global market. And aside from that, even animators locally also making lots of money, with the box office numbers for Agent Ali being 60 million, Bobo Boy 30, and also Upon Ipin being 25 million. And one of the reasons for this is a lot of kids right now can go on YouTube, and that is a form of marketing for a lot of animation companies. All of this wealth is thanks to better connectivity, better speeds, and also better smartphone technologies, and finally, an increase in adoption rates for smartphones globally. So right now, with the 5G, what is 5G and how will it help create wealth? So pretty much 5G in a nutshell is going to be much faster than 4G. It will enable more devices to be on the 5G platform without a drop in performance, and there's going to be very low latency. Another word for low latency is less laggy. So an example of this for me as a gamer would be if I'm playing a game and if I'm playing a first-person shooter game, I run in a room. Back in the day, if my computer was laggy or the internet was laggy, if I entered the room and it lags, sometimes I might get headshot, and once I get in the game, I probably find my character not alive anymore. So that's a very frustrating experience for us gamers. On top of that, I also love to play drones. And just imagine if you're going on a drone and all of a sudden freezes and your drone just goes off course. So both these things will happen less with this new technology introduced. But when we're reading the newspaper articles, these are the industries or these are the products which they are trying to create, leveraging on the 5G technology. So the first thing would be the driverless cars, where they're going to put sensors on cars, traffic lights, roads, and also they're going to put aerial sensors. On top of that, 5Gs will enable the best surgeons anywhere in the world to operate another person, maybe hundreds of kilometers in a different country. The third application would be smart farming. Fourth would be an immersive virtual classroom, and it will also disrupt the banking industry. So like the 4G and how it created wealth, when looking at the Malaysian MCMC and what they predict the wealth generation would be from 5G technology, it looks very, very promising. Aside from that, these are the jobs that is expected to be created from the 5G technology. So how does one invest in all of this? The first thing is, maybe if you are a student, try to enter courses which will enable you to benefit from this new technology. Second, if you want to invest in stocks, look at where the industry is going and look at the manufacturers and also the suppliers for these players. And finally, the question is, should one invest in telcos during this time? So when I was looking at the telco industry, I noticed one thing. The margins for most of this telco has been decreasing. And one of the reasons why is data being very highly commoditized. There's no competitive advantage. So a lot of these players right now are playing on price to get people on board. And some of them are giving free subscriptions for maybe 2 or 3 months, while others are giving higher speeds at lower prices. So there is a price competition amongst many of these telcos. And having said that, however, I will circle back to my point. Look at the players which are going to support this industry. With that, I thank you so very much for watching an episode. If you have any questions, please do ask. And if you find benefit in this episode, consider to subscribe. With that, I hope to see you in the next episode.